Good morning, students. In last topic we have discussed was header file, if I'm not mistaken. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about variables and constant. Now, when I talk about variable, what is that one thing that comes into your mind? See, you have to see the word variable. Variable means variable. Vary is something which can be changed. So when I'm talking about variable, what I'm saying, something that could be changed can be termed as variable. And when I talk about constant, then what do you understand by constant? Something which is stationary, which cannot be changed, right? So constant and variables are the fundamental element of each program. When we are talking about the programming, then what are the two fundamental element of any program? That is constant and variable. Clear? Now, simply speaking, a program is nothing else than defining them and manipulating them, right? So what exactly do we do in programs? We just define them and then we manipulate them. So a variable is a data storage location that has the value that can be changed during a program execution, right? So during the execution of a programs, you can change the value of a variable. Now, in contrast to that, a constant has a fixed value. It cannot be changed. So if we really have to differentiate between constant and variable, then variable is something which you can change, whose values keep on changing, whereas in case of constant, the value remains stationary. Now, if I have to give an example of variable, then how am I going to define? For example, the value of a. Let us assume the value of a is 10. Then it can be, value of a can also be 20, value of a can be 30, value of a can be 40, so on. So what exactly we are doing? We are actually changing the values of a. So how we are going to define this a? A will be defined as variable, means something whose value can be changed as per our requirement. Now coming to the constant, what is the value of pi? You know pi is 22 by 7, whose exact value is 3.14. So can a value of pi be changed? It's going to be same whether you are going to use it physics, whether you are going to use in mathematics, whether you are going to use in the C programming. The value of pi is 3.14 only. It's not going to change. So pi is having a constant value, the value which could not be changed. So that's what we are going to understand in today's lecture, that what is the basic difference between variable and constant. Variable means something which can vary, जिसकी वैल्यू चेंज हो सके. Constant is something whose value cannot be changed, जिसकी वैल्यू स्टेशनरी रहती है. Clear? Any other doubts? No. So after variables and constant, now we are going to consider character set. Now suppose you write any program in a C source file as a text line containing the characters from character set, and when the program executes in a target environment, it uses the character from character set. These character sets are related but need not to have the same encoding for all the members. So every character set contains a distinct code value for each character on the basic C, right? And a character sets can also contain additional character with the other code value. So when we are taking an example of characters in C, then that means alphabet, number, special character, all these things comes into the category of character, right? Now character can both be in lower case as well as in upper case. जरूरी तो नहीं है वो upper case में हो, capital letter में भी लिख सकते हैं हम, small letter में भी लिख सकते हैं. So it need not to be in capital letter or small letter. Whereas C कैसी language है बताइए? C is a case sensitive language, right? What do you understand by case sensitive language? Case sensitive means something, it do depends whether you are using, it have an impact when you are using a capital letter, if I have an impact when you are using a small letter. So you have to be very precise about that, ki which command is in capital and which command is in small letter. And when we talk about the characters, then all the numbers are also included, 0 to 6. Special characters like colon is there, semicolon is there, braces is there, curl braces is there, ampersand sign is there, equals to there, hash is there. So all these are all what? Character set. Now what are identifier? Now after characters, variable, constant, we'll understand what is identifier. So identifiers are the name given to the various program elements such as constant, variable, functions, name, array. So this is what basically the names given to the various programming elements. जितने भी programming elements हैं उनको जो हमने name दिए हैं, that comes into the category of identifiers. Okay, now every element in a program has its own distinct name, but one cannot select any name unless it's confirmed to valid the name is C language. So what are the rules for formatting and identifying, or what are the rules for formatting identifiers? Identifiers identify according to the following rule. First rule that you need to understand is that it consists of letters and digit. All the letters A, B, C, D till Z comes into this category, whereas digit 0 to 9 also comes into this category. Second is first character must be an alphabet or underscore. Both upper and lower cases are allowed. Some text of different case is not equivalent. For example, TXT is not the same as TXT. When I'm talking about TXT, is TXT in caps, capital letter, and TXT in small letter. Except the special character underscore, no other special symbols can be used. For example, some valid identifier I'll mention you as we attend the offline class. Right now, let's come to the keyword. Now, when I'm talking about the keyword, keywords are the reserved word which have standard predefined meaning in C, and they cannot be used as a program defined identifier. Make this thing very clear. So when I'm talking about the keywords, you can give an example like character is there, int is there, while is there, do is there, type def is there, auto is there, double is there, structure is there, break is there, static is there, union is there, constant is there, so on. So all these are what? They are all keywords. So you know how to define keywords. Keywords what क्या होते हैं ये पता है आपको? Keywords are the reserved word. क्या होते हैं? Reserved word होते हैं जो कि standard होते हैं, predefined इनका meaning होता है C के अंदर. Clear? And you cannot use them as a program defined identifier. This is clear? Now, generally all the keywords are in lowercase, although uppercase of some names can be used as an identifier, but in general, if we consider, then generally we take the keywords in lowercase only. Clear? Now let's come to the data types. Now, what do you understand by the word data type and storage? When I'm talking about data type and storage, that means storage data types. To store the data inside the computer, we need first identify what type of data element we need in our computer program, right? किसी भी चीज़ को store करने के लिए first we should know कि what is its type, उसका type क्या है. Until unless we don't know the type, how can we store it? So to store the data inside the computer, we need to first identify the type of data element we need in our program. And there are several different types of data which may be represented differently within the computer programs. Like the data type specifier has two things. First is permissible range of value that we can store, memory requirement to store a data type. So basically the data types defines the type of data, what type of data it is. Getting my point? For example, int we use for integer. What's the size of integer? 2 bytes. And what's the range? That is 32768 to 32767, I guess, right? So this is the range. You need not to learn the range. You just need to know that integers are there. For integers, the memory size is 2 bytes, right? You do understand the difference between bytes and bits. 1 byte is equivalent to how many bits? How many bits? You know, na? 1 byte is equivalent to, when I'm talking, you should know the difference between byte and bit. You know the difference between byte and bit, right? So when I'm talking about bytes. So integer is having 2 byte. Okay, character is having 1 byte. Floating point is number is having 4 byte. Floating point number with the highest precision is having 8 byte. Okay, so this is about the memory size occupied by the various data type. Now, data type qualifier. Now, what do you understand by data type? You know data type. What is data type? Data type is something which defines the type of data that we are using. It could be integer, it could be float, it could be a character. Now, what is data type? What do you understand by the data type qualifier? Short, long, sign, unsigned, all these are data type qualifier. What we call them? We call them data type qualifier. And it can be used with any data type. Like short integer requires less space than the integer. Long integer main require more space in integer. So if in short int takes 2 byte, then long int takes 4 byte. It's just a matter of the space occupied by the any data type in a memory. So the memory size, how many, what size, what byte it is actually occupying. So unsigned, when we are talking about the unsigned bits, it actually use all the bit from the magnitude. So therefore the type of the can be a larger. For example, signed integer range is from 32,768 to plus for 32,767, and unsigned basically range from 0 to say 65,535. So we are having different range. In short, you need not to learn about the ranges. Fine. Now variable is an identifier. So let's come back to the variable. Variable is what? Variable is identifier whose value change from time to time during the execution, and its name, the data storage location in your computer memory, right? So by using the variable, the name in your programs, you are in effect referring to the data stored there. A variable represents a single data item, example, numeric quantity or character constant or a string constant, right? So this is all about variable. I think that's all for today. If you have any query, feel free to ask me. Thank you.